Jimmy Sal, they wanted to have a fish fry one. Well, no, we haven't.
All right. At this time, I would like to call our council meeting to order on Tuesday, May the 19th at 6:30 p.m. Yvonne, would you do a roll call, please?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Mayor Gray Leonard,
Here.
Vice Mayor Robert Greenland,
Here.
Councilman Jimmy Anderson,
Here.
Councilwoman Lenny Richardson, here. Councilwoman Brandy Peterson,
Here.
Town Attorney Scott Simpson,
Here.
Town Planner Mark Brett,
Here.
Deputy Clerk Ryan Smith,
Here.
and the Volusia County Sheriff is present.
Okay, Lenny, would you lead us in invocation, please?
Gladly, sir.
Thank you.
Let us pray. Dear Lord, we come to you tonight with great thanks for this beautiful day you have bestowed upon our precious community. Dear Lord, I ask that you continually bless and protect all our citizens and all that may pass through. I ask you to especially bless anyone that is involved with the inner workings of this great town. And I ask as we embark on a holiday weekend, you keep everyone especially safe. And I ask that you please guide and inspire us to make the best decisions for our town as a whole. And I ask these things in your great name. Amen.
Amen. Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, first item of business is item number 4, approval of our minutes from the regular meeting that was on May the 5th, 2026. Has everybody had an opportunity to look at those? Anybody have any changes that need to be made? Nothing to be made. I'd ask for a motion.
Move to approve.
Motion made to approve by Robert F. Greenland. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman Lenny Richardson. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
So approved. Thank you. All right, first item of new business, item number 5A, is ordinance 2026-06. It's amending the Planning Commission regulations. It's our first reading on this, and I would like to turn that over to Attorney Scott Simpson, please.
First thing I'll do is I'll go ahead and read the title into the record. Ordinance 2026-06 by title only for first reading. An ordinance of the Town of Pierson, Florida, amending the Unified Land Development Regulations of the Town of Pierson, Article 3, Administration, Enforcement, and Review, Section 3.3.1, creation to revise terms of office and add provisions for an alternate Planning Commission member, providing for reappointment of all current board members by resolution to provide for staggered terms, providing for conflict, providing for severability, and providing an effective date. We're doing first reading over again just to refresh your memory because we changed the title to add terms. So we have made it where it's a 4-year term, and we're going to provide for staggered terms. What we'll do, if you approve this at first reading, we come back for second reading, we'll have a resolution, and we're going to reappoint everybody who's currently on the board so that they'll, however it's going to be, there's going to be 2 people appointed for 2 years, 3 people appointed for 4 years. We're on a staggered term basis. We have a good record of when that is and when that starts, so we'll kind of starting anew.
Right.
So I think that was the direction from last meeting. So, any questions?
No. Nothing for me.
Nobody on the board has anything? Is there anybody in the audience that has any questions on this? It's regarding the appointment of planning member committees and staggering their term.
I don't know. What did she say?
Do the people on the planning commission need to be here? And I would say no.
No. We're not. The intent here is not to change the composition of the planning board. We were adding an alternate member. last meeting, there was discussion that we really didn't know, because the person who was recently appointed to fill a term, the unexpired term, we weren't sure what the terms were. And we couldn't find good records to show when people were reappointed. So we decided that it'd probably be best to reappoint everybody and have staggered terms, go to a 4-year term instead of 3-year terms, so it matches the commission's term. And then just reappoint who's on the commission right now. 2 will be for 2 years, or however it's going to be, and then the 3 will be for 4 years. And we'll have a good record of when they were appointed, when their term ends, so we have a good record of that. And we just couldn't find good records to indicate that for us. So that's what we're being done. No one needs to reapply, no one's going to be removed, none of that. We're just reappointing everybody that's currently on there. In 2 of their terms, everybody's term is going to be altered because I think they're currently 3-year terms. But so 2 people will have a 2-year term initially, then they can be reappointed for a 4-year term, and 3 of the people will have a 4-year term. And it could be 3 have a 2-year term and 2 have a 4-year term.
I think we're going to do it 3 and 3 because technically you have to also appoint the alternate member.
Okay.
So you'll do like seats 1, 2, and the alternate 1 year, and then the next year it'll be like seats 3, 4, 5, or something like that.
And we have not, to my knowledge, don't know which seat is going to be 2 and which one's going to be 4. That'll be back for next meeting. But all we're doing is trying to make it clear that we have staggered terms, staggered 4-year terms, and when they start and when everybody's term ends.
Somewhere they lost track of the terms because the previous clerk had it in her sheet as everybody renewed like November 2024. And that's not the way it was originally envisioned. It was supposed to be a couple 2 years, and then the next one's 2 years.
Any other discussion?
I make a motion to approve ordinance 2026-06, amending Planning Commission regulations on its first reading.
Been a motion on the floor by Vice Mayor Robert F. Greenland to approve ordinance 2026-06 on its first reading. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Councilmember Jimmy Anderson. We need to do a roll call vote on this, Yvonne?
Yep.
Okay. You go ahead and do that, please.
Councilwoman Brandy Pierson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lenny Richardson?
Yes.
Councilman Jimmy Anderson?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Robert Greenland?
Yes.
Mayor Gray Leonard?
Yes. Let the record show that we call for a roll call vote and it was passed. All right. Moving on to item number 5B. This is another ordinance and it's going to be its first reading. This ordinance 2026-05, and it's regarding the rezoning of the airport property. And I want to turn that over to our town planner, Mark Corrett.
Mark, you want me to read the title first?
Yeah. Okay.
Ordinance number 2026-05 by title only for first reading. An ordinance of the town of Pierson, Florida, providing for the rezoning of real property totaling 89.01 plus or minus acres owned by the town of Pierson, located on east side U.S. Highway 17, approximately 220 feet plus or minus, north of the intersection of U.S. Highway 17 and east of Washington Avenue, from the A1 Agricultural District to the PDC Planned Development Commercial District, establishing a Pierson Airport Development Order, providing for the taking of implementing administrative action, providing for the adoption of a map for the rezoning, providing for implementing administrative actions, repealing all conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, providing for non-codification, and providing for an effective date.
Okay.
So this is a rezoning to planned development, rezoning the airport property, which has recently been surveyed and is 89 acres in size. That property forever has been zoned A1 agriculture, and the list of permitted uses in the A1 zoning does not allow for airports. As a matter of fact, the town of Pierson does not have any existing zoning ordinance that allows airports. So what we're doing is we're creating a specialized zoning for the airport property. So that's why we're adopting both a map and a development order. The development order mimics what you would see in the land development code if you were to look up a straight zoning category, which would, describe what the zoning category does. It would have setbacks, it would have a list of permitted uses. So that's exactly what this ordinance does. It changes the map from A1 to plan development, and it adopts this development order, which describes the property as a general aviation facility, and identifies a number of uses that are intended to just recognize how the airport is currently used, how it will be used very shortly. We have a new tenant, and part of what we're doing here is laying out for them that their use is in fact a permitted use on the airport. And then it also has some uses that are sort of looking towards the future, but still keeping in character with the general aviation and the sort of rural airport. So if you take a look at the ordinance, and you go to page 7, you will see the development order, and I'm going to talk primarily about the uses. One, primary aviation uses, and so we have general aviation airport facility, including runways, taxis, aprons, hangars, all the things we normally associate with an airport. We talk about, it also would allow things like, although there is none right now, fueling facilities, maintenance facilities, airport management and administrative offices, the U.S. Health and Global Medical Response are going, want to establish offices on site. We talk about pilot lounge and briefing facilities, the helipad, and helicopter operations. And also we talk about aviation-related support use, flight instruction and aviation. So there is some training that occurs, on the airport now. I believe both Amarillo and the Sheriff's Office does training about that. Aviation equipment, part storage, aviation-related office, weather monitoring. Again, this is sort of aspirational for the future, but small cafe or snack bar, intended to serve pilots or airport staff. Vending facilities, serving airport users. And then we talk about other uses of public utilities and infrastructure, water treatment and supply facilities, wastewater facilities. And then for other similar uses, the town may administratively approve, town council may approve other uses not expressly listed that are customarily associated with general aviation airport operations and that are determined to be substantially similar in nature and impact of permitted uses herein, provided such uses do not impair aviation safety or create significant adverse impacts on surrounding property. So you'll be able to add uses in the future at your discretion, as long as they're in keeping with the general intent of the development order. And then it establishes setbacks, which are basically 30 feet from the property boundary, maximum height of buildings, 45 feet, lot coverage, which is 60. Talks about the process, which is, going to meet parking requirements in land development code, or as you guys may approve in the future, it talks about potentially you guys have the ability to establish a landscape plan for the airport, and then just the process will be done. Any development at the airport will be processed like any other development at the airport. So, for example, people who are talking about the helipad are going through site plan. And so they will go to the planning commission, and then they come to you guys with their final. So that's what we're proposing. Be happy to answer any questions you might have
Basically, this is just bringing the airport facility into conformity, so to speak, to what an airport more or less should be.
It's recognizing how you guys have been using the airport since the 1940s.
Right.
And then allowing, as I said, some uses that maybe aren't here now, that, perhaps some point in the future.
Could be in the future.
People have the helicopters, right now their plan is to go to the land airport to fuel, but at some point in the future, they might say,
Right.
We'd like to have, fueling there, and so this gives you the ability to say, well, that's in our ordinance, show us a site plan of how you want to arrange the fueling facility.
And you guys have any,
Changing this won't give us any ramifications on tax purposes, will it? Mark?
No, I mean, it's an
town-
airport now, if
Right.
you're not, you.
As long as the town knows.
Can do it.
Yeah.
You're going to be taxed on, what's there.
Right.
So they're, because you leased some of it to a private entity, that may have implication, but nothing that you're doing tonight.
Right.
I think our lease with that entity has said they have to pay the taxes on top of the.
I believe it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Real quick, Scott, and this is not fully related to this, but like the lease that we've signed with UF Health. Florida got rid of commercial rental tax, sales tax on commercial rentals. Is that considered a commercial rental?
It'll be up to the state.
Because for
But
instance,
you should
we don't
also-
charge a rev or anybody anymore.
Yeah,
because
you may
it's-
be sales tax exempt too, as a city.
Well, we are, but
We
once
are
you
the
once
city,
you
yeah.
lease something for commercial purpose, it becomes taxable
Taxable
for the
property
county.
tax.
Yeah, but I don't know if I have to
But,
collect sales tax
is-
on that because it's
no,
technically commercial.
Are we
lease.
leasing to a private for-profit company? They are
Yes.
private okay. They may have to pay, but they would have to pay it if there is sales tax.
Right. Okay.
The sales tax would fall upon the business,
Yes.
not the,
Yeah, but I don't.
person leasing.
The sales tax side of it, I think that's just considered a commercial property rental. Now that it's
Yeah.
on commercial, so I'm not collecting sales tax on that. But for the county, they're going to collect property tax on it now because it's
I would
being-
think,
for whatever the square footage they're renting is. Yeah.
you could call the Department of Revenue and ask if you should collect sales tax.
Right.
They would be the one to answer that.
is there anybody in the audience that has any questions on this? Yes, ma'am.
Could you speak up, because I can't hear the microphone towards you and Scott.
Okay, can you hear us now?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a question?
No.
Other than that, I'll try to speak up better. Thank you.
I might have a question if you heard us.
Yeah. Does anybody have any questions about this airport? Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Melissa Thorne from Unincorporated Deland, your neighbor. I'm just wondering, I missed the very beginning of this. I'm sorry to be tardy. Are you guys expanding it so you can land bigger planes? Are you
No.
going to expand the runways? Are you going to
No.
build a tower?
No.
Okay.
This is really being done because the existing zoning is agricultural, which really does not permit what's going on out there. So we are bringing the zoning into compliance with our current conduct that's being done out there. The only thing that's being, and it's not being done because of this ordinance, is the helipad that UF Health has negotiated a lease with us. That will be an addition that goes out there, but that's the only addition that I'm aware of.
The airport's been being utilized since in the mid-40s as an airport, and I guess it's just now coming 80 years later, we're
Time to make it.
doing it the way it should be done, so to speak.
Well, it was also, as you remember, one giant parcel with the park. And so
Yes.
that created issues too because
Yes.
for FERDAP grant purposes, the park has to be its own separate thing with its own boundaries, and the airport's going to have to be its own separate thing because UF Health needs that to be an address. They have to have a license to operate there.
Yeah.
So it was time to split it, and if you're splitting it, you might as well zone it properly.
That's why we had it. We had to have it surveyed as a specific piece of property. Okay?
I make a motion to approve ordinance
2026-05, the airport rezoning, on its first reading.
Motion on the floor by Vice Mayor Robert F. Greenland to approve ordinance 2026-05, the airport rezoning on its first reading. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman Brandy Pierson. Yvonne, would you do a roll call vote on this, please?
Yes, sir. Councilwoman Brandy Peterson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lenny Richardson,
Yes.
Councilman Jimmy Anderson,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Robert Greenland,
Yes.
Mayor Gray Leonard.
Yes. Let the record show there was a roll call vote regarding ordinance 2026-05, and it did pass. All right, moving on to item number 5C, I'm going to call on Lester Pulley, our traffic safety expert here, and we'll find out what's going on.
Hey, good evening. I apologize for the attire. It's hot and I'm riding my bike.
You're perfectly fine.
All right, this is the highlights from the County Traffic Safety Team meeting Thursday, May 7th. Fatality, there's 36 current fatalities. We're at the same place we were last year. However, this does not include, there were 3 fatalities recently on Highway 40 near the intersection with Highway 11. Statewide fatalities are down 18%, but in this county they're level. They're the same as we were last year. Ridership is increasing on Sunrail. They did have an attempted suicide, but the individual was removed from the tracks by the sheriff's office, and they were Baker acted, and so there was no serious incident. They talked about school zones mostly, still same bad behaviors, a lot of speeding, cell phone use in the school zones, parking where they're not supposed to, drop-offs where they're not supposed to. I'm noticing they're still parking at the gates out here hours before the gates open. I don't get that, but they're still doing it. I did bring up the lights over here in front of the school. That opened up a lot of discussion. Apparently, we're not the only ones.
In front of the elementary school?
In front of the elementary school. That opened up a lot of discussion. Apparently, we're not the only ones. What I was told is whoever is paying for the poles is not paying the bill, so they're not turning them on. They say that there is a number on the pole, and you can call it, I guess it's Duke Energy that does those, and they'll tell you who the customer is that's not paying the that's not paying the bill. The Volusia County Schools said they are not theirs. And I talked to the people at the school, and they said they're definitely not theirs. FDOT said they were going to get back to me, and they didn't. So I'm guessing they probably are theirs.
Well, the state must be supposed to be paying for
Yep.
them.
That's what I think. Nobody's gotten back to me yet, but that's what I think. Yep.
But we can call Duke with those numbers and find out.
Well, you got to go to the pole and get the number off the pole, and then call Duke, and they'll tell you who owns it.
Who the customer is.
And the school says they don't need them now, but in the wintertime, when the days are short, that those lights are nice, especially in the mornings. So we'll hopefully get it worked out by the wintertime.
They're on one side of the highway.
And not on the other.
But they're not on the other side of the highway.
I don't know.
So the ones on the west side of the highway are generally always off when I go by there.
They are, yeah.
And the ones on the east side of the highway are on.
So my question is, maybe the bill's being paid, but a line has been damaged on that side of the road, because all those lights are probably fed off the same power source. So if a primary line's been hit over there and no one's repaired it, someone's paying a bill for lights that don't work.
Yeah,
Because it's odd to me
That
that
could
one
be
side of the road is lit and the other side not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're all in front of the school.
That is odd.
I mean, I would think that the same entity would
be paying for them. Yeah.
Paying for
If we
both
call
of them.
Duke and the customer is current, then Duke needs to send a repair team out to find out why they're not working. So we can get a number.
Now
off
that
of
school's
it.
almost out of session. Apparently, there's somebody on County Road 3 over here that lives near Palmetto that's complaining about speeders on that road.
I'm sure of that.
We've actually had a few.
Okay. The county's looking into it. Right now, County Road 3 is designated as a thoroughfare, and there's not a lot they can do over there. If I'm not mistaken, that's already 35 miles an hour over there. It's 35, so it may just need some enforcement. But they're talking about speed bumps or putting a stop sign there for County Road 3 in Palmetto, but they would have to designate it as something other than a thoroughfare for them to be able to do that.
We've had 2 residents come in with videos on their phones of kids at lunchtime and after school drag
So it's the
racing.
same ones that are...
Yeah, and so we've encouraged them to please reach out to the sheriff's office because some of it goes through unincorporated Pierson because they're racing from Stedman all the way down towards Seville, like to the hot spot.
Right, to where the
So, it's one thing if we call the sheriff or email the captain and say, hey, but if they hear from residents that have these videos, maybe they'll send someone out to do a speed thing there one day, or I don't know. But they do it. We've talked about this
For years.
ad nauseum.
Yeah.
They do it down First
Right,
Avenue when
yeah.
school gets out. They do it down, So, but it is bad on.
Okay, that's the first I heard. I've heard about them around the high school here, but I didn't know they're doing it on County Road 3 too.
Yeah.
And it was brought to my attention that there's still school zone signs around Town Hall here. I brought that to their attention last year. I'll do it again.
Okay.
And see if they can remove those. That's all I got. Any questions?
I don't have any. Did you say that we've had 36 fatalities and then the 3 on 40, that runs it up to 39?
Yes. Yep. So 36 is exactly where we were at this point last year, but then
Okay.
there was 3 more recently, which were not included in those numbers.
Okay.
Was there any discussion about Lake Helen's cameras in their school zone? I've heard
Not
it
in
on the
this meeting.
news, and
They have talked about them before.
Have they?
There were some problems about the cameras were not in the school zone or something like that.
there was a person at the last meeting who got a ticket who was complaining, obviously. But I don't know exactly how much. They go a period of time where they were given warnings, and you got to go over, I believe, 10 miles an hour by law before they actually issue a ticket. But they had several hundred people getting tickets there.
Wow.
And so I think the city gets no out-of-pocket expense to the city with this company. And the city gets, there's a total of $60 per state law that goes back to the city to pay for the enforcement, the camera and maintenance and enforcement. Then that we give 30, I think we get 27 and they get $33. The company gets $33, and that takes care of all their compensation and the video camera maintenance, and the city gets $27 per ticket. And that is used for law enforcement services and issues. So
This is Lake Helen has them?
Does Lake Helen have their own PD?
Lake Helen has their own police department, but the big issue for Lake Helen is they had to get a special magistrate, because if somebody is going to appeal their ticket, you got to have a mechanism to do that. So they have code enforcement with a special magistrate, and we incorporated that function into our current special magistrate, and we've got a good special magistrate right now who's handling that. So that would be the biggest thing here. We would have to, if we're going to do that, we'd have to find a way for appeals to be handled. Not to say that y'all are considering it, but it was.
Right.
We've talked about that before,
Yeah.
and that was
Yeah.
what we were told.
Thank you, Les.
Thank y'all.
Thank you, Lester.
Does anybody in the audience have any questions that they'd like to ask Les, maybe? No? All right. Y'all ready? Moving on to item number 5D. It's Town of Pierson Wells, and I would like to turn that over to Council Member Jimmy Anderson.
Yes, it was brought to my attention that when we hooked up the new wells, the old wells wasn't going to be used as much. They have to come on regular too, or it'll get all that stuff in the well, and you got to. So I was just told that it wasn't going to be mostly this one over here, but that one over there needs to come on at least once or twice a week too, to keep the bacteria out of it.
Could you have one of the public works guys turn one set of wells on and one set of them off occasionally, or how do you?
No, I don't know how. It was just brought to my attention that them wasn't gonna be used as much, but they need to be on every week.
Because I think the way it's set now, it's just strictly set on the pressure drop. I think if the pressure drops below a certain level at the new wells, then the old wells will automatically kick on. That's my understanding. Is that what you?
Yeah, but you got to have them old wells.
I agree with you.
To come on, or that bacteria will build up in.
If you remember correctly, back with the prior mayor, when we thought the wells were coming online in 2 weeks, 2 years ago, SGS and Mead and Hunt were supposed to come present us some kind of telemetry system that they could install, and the new well and the old well and the water tower would all communicate. They were supposed to run this new well 70% of the time, 30% was supposed to come from the old well, so that well would run daily or every other day. When they came when Mead and Hunt came to the last meeting, he had even told us he was getting quotes from SGS to do that and the lightning arrestor system that we talked about. I emailed them April 16th in lead up to that meeting when everything came online and said, are we still working on the quote for this telemetry system? And Seth at SGS, who was the contractor that built the well, said, while we appreciate the opportunity, the town might be better off to request that from CWS. So in other words, now that the project is over and they've got their money, they're tired of it. Everyone's tired of the well.
They've washed
So it may be something we sit down and talk to CWS about. I don't know what it would cost, but rather than CWS, because the only other option is CWS manually will have to switch between wells. And I don't know how hard or how time-consuming that is. They're only here for an hour a day. They may have a solution to that, but that's probably what we need to explore, is just to meet with CWS and say, how do we automate this? We don't want to use that just as an emergency. We want it to run regularly because we want the water to stay good. We don't want to have to retest every time we use it,
But now that the new wells and the new plant are in operation, what probably should happen is to shut down those wells temporarily and make some improvements.
We have to do the totalizing flow meter that the health department required. We have to get the high pressure tank over there cleaned and inspected. So once this was operating smoothly, we wanted to make sure, give it a month or two, and then we have plans to take that offline and do some evaluating and some repairs and some maintenance over there. But when it comes back, there still needs to be a mechanism to run both of them. Because right now I think it's set at like 40 PSI. The only time it's going to come on is if that just completely shuts off
40.
and the tower drops to like half full.
Right.
So, in other words, only in an emergency situation would it come on. So those wells are just sitting there unused right now. They need to be running. So, but I mean, if you want, we can reach out to CWS and ask if they do that. Should we contact someone like RCM? I mean, there's a bunch of utility companies that probably have solutions.
I think we ought to probably reach out to CWS first. Right.
We'll start there.
They're the ones taking care of our water. So, can you do that, Ryan?
Yeah.
Do it through the office?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, but I'm like Jimmy, we need to have that well cycling on and also.
They got to work.
In case, it needs to be fresh. That way if the new well did quit working for whatever reason, we would have, everything would still be.
Because if the health department comes over there and they run a water sample,
it probably won't pass, or it may not. I mean,
as long as they're working every now and then,
will.
they'll pass.
Right, but if they sit there and are not running.
Right.
Yeah. Anything else on that, Jimmy?
No, that was all. I just wanted to make sure we're using that well over there, both of them too.
Okay. All right, moving on to item number 5E. It's airport discussion, and I'm going to turn that over to Deputy Clerk Ryan Smith.
Okay, so just a real quick update on UF Health and Global Medical Response. They are waiting on their engineer, architect, whatever you want to call them, to get survey work done for their site plan. They still haven't talked to St. Johns River Water Management District about whether or not they need any kind of permitting to build their structure over there. In the meantime, they are not renewing their lease in Perry, Florida at the hospital. So that's going to be done in June. So their question to us was, can we set up a temporary helipad up near the front by that hangar closest to 17? There's that big open grassy area. They'd like to maybe do a temporary helipad there somewhere, and they want to see if they can put temporary RVs there to house their crew with black water tanks and all that stuff. That allows them to move here now while they're going through the approval process, but also gets them out of the way while they're constructing their permanent structures. Our RV ordinance that we passed only deals in residential zonings. We didn't really mention any kind of commercial zonings, so it would have to come before you to get that approved. So I told them I would come to you tonight with that.
So I think with our new ordinance that we just passed regarding that airport property, we should be able to do that. Correct, Mark?
It's
If we wanted to.
really, it's your facility.
Yeah, I'd say let them do it.
I agree with you.
Yeah, let them get it, let them put it over there.
Is it a use? I was looking to see if it was a use, something we could interpret as part of the use.
Obviously, we put the schedule, we weren't contemplating, temporary helipad or,
Right.
Are they-
Temporary out there.
Are the RVs, are they going to be using those as administrative offices, or are people going to sleep there?
Both. Yeah. They have to be there 24/7. It has to be staffed 24 hours a day. So for now, I guess it would be both.
I'm looking at this.
we have, pilot lounge stuff. Aviation-related offices.
But none of that says that it can't be temporary.
No, it doesn't prohibit temporary. I was just looking for anything that could be interpreted as residential sleeping. But they're going to be, when they build their facility there, they're going to have living quarters there,
It's
right?
going to be a 24-hour day staff facility, exactly.
Yeah. Well, what we could do between first and second reading, we could add, necessary living facilities for
Emergency personnel or something like that.
personnel. We could just add that as a permitted use.
Sure.
Between first and second reading, and then we got it covered.
I think we need to do that because I think we definitely, if they're ready to get here and they want to do a temporary helipad until everything else is finished, I think we need to let them do it. That's my opinion.
100%. I don't want to lose this deal.
Right, no, I don't either.
Are they currently paying rent?
They haven't paid rent yet, but they did pay us for the land clearing.
So when does their rent start?
I think we said, was it June? Because we just signed the thing at the end of April. And I think they projected to be here by June.
I think
So when they put the temporary facility there, they'll be paying rent?
Yeah.
Okay.
We signed it April 1st is when we signed it, but they knew they weren't ready April 1st.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure their goal was to be in here by June. But there's a bigger sense of urgency now because they're leaving their facility in Perry. So, and they're estimating maybe another 2 to 3 months, worst case scenario on the permitting, depending on what St. John's needs and all that. So, Eford is doing their survey work for like their site plan and all. He's going to be out here Thursday. So that should be done fairly quickly, but we don't know what the permitting is going to be like if it's required by St. John's. So that was our solution that we came up with temporarily.
Okay.
I think
I'd give them the okay
100%.
right tomorrow.
if we can do it tonight, I think we ought to be able to do it.
Absolutely.
Can we do that tonight, Scott?
Do we need to have a formal
Well, what
vote
we're
on
going to
it?
do is we're going to bring this ordinance back for second reading. And when it comes back for second reading, we're going to have in here
Okay.
some language that will allow sleeping facilities for personnel,
Can we not?
whether it's under just the helipad or...
So are you telling me then we can't tell them they can
No, you tell
they
me.
can do that until 2 weeks from now?
You guys said it was okay.
Yeah, we're going to tell them it was okay.
You're just going to put it in there?
We're just going to put it in here.
Okay.
so-
Yeah, because they want to get moving, and by the time that we have our next meeting, it'll be
Exactly,
in
that's what I was getting at.
Do we need to have
That's
a
where I was
vote?
going.
Do we have to have a formal vote on it?
Do we
On
need
what?
to-
On
On
allowing
this,
them to?
yeah, they can vote on it to allow them to go ahead and go in there. The best way to address it is,
Right.
long-term, is to put it in here, and then there's no question.
I just didn't want to email them and tell them it was a go until I made
I
sure
make a
it was
motion,
go.
we allow UF Health to establish temporary quarters immediately.
There's a motion on the floor by Vice Mayor Robert F. Greenman to go ahead and allow UF Health to go ahead and put their temporary facility in at the airport so they can begin their operations as soon as possible. And they're seconded by Councilmember Jimmy Anderson. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
So carried. All right, we can call them and tell them to
Yep, I'm going to email them
do
right
it.
now.
Okay, moving on to item number 6, other business, updates and reports. I have a couple things. I think it was 2 calls recently about noise on Hagstrom Road happening all night long. And I was told that the lady called the sheriff's department. I don't know if they responded or not, but if they did respond, the noise didn't cease because we have, I think, didn't she submit a video or something of that, Yvonne?
Yep.
One of the complainants? And it was going on at 6 o'clock in the morning still,
All night long.
all night long, and it's one of the new mobile homes that's been placed on West Hagstrom Road, and it's happening right in this lady's backyard. I mean, it's like just a few feet away because those lots are really close.
Yeah.
And I was hoping maybe that the captain would be here tonight, but are you familiar with any complaints in that area? Okay. This happened on, was it Saturday night? Saturday night, I believe. And it was still going on at daybreak Sunday morning.
Are you
And-
talking about Janie?
I'm talking about Janie North, yeah. It was going on all night.
Yeah.
And that's the same.
It's the same house that Miss
It's the
Boatwright
same one that
was
Miss
here complaining.
Bennett was here
Yes.
complaining about. It's the same
Bennett Boatwright.
spot that's been going on for quite some time.
Yes.
And barring no noise ordinances and everything else, I believe there's some laws on the book about just plain disturbing of the peace, something to that. I mean, we need to do something to help these folks out because you can't, if you can't sleep at night, they party all day and then they sleep all night, or party all night and they sleep all day. Maybe we ought to all pull cars in the middle of their front yard at 7 o'clock in the morning and sit down on the horns till they get back up. But that's a joke. But we need to find some way of handling this, this
The
issue.
captain contacted Yvonne, right, Yvonne?
Yep.
She did not want to sign an affidavit.
She's scared.
So without that document, it can't be enforced. They're scared. People are scared. That's the sad part about this state law. People are scared of retaliation.
Well, the one lady said to me, the folks that were playing the loud music said, "We don't care about you people."
And I heard that someone said they burned their house down.
Yes, I heard that also. Well, I think they said was, that's a wooden house and they could catch on fire real easy, or something to that effect.
Correct.
That was just a hint.
Yeah. And I talked to Fidel, and he said he was going to talk to them and address that situation. Maybe he did, and they told him to go pound sand too. but the situation is still going on.
Yeah.
The properties are still in Fidel's name.
And I think they're leasing that property from him, I think.
Hopefully, maybe.
So I can go talk to Fidel again and ask him, can you say something to those folks to maybe cut their time down to midnight or 11:30 or something reasonable? I mean, I don't know what else to do. If the person's not willing to sign an affidavit, then they can't really file charges.
Right. Automatic weaponry in that neighborhood as well.
That's what I was thinking. It ain't just that neighborhood, it's every neighborhood.
Yeah.
And it's in our neighborhood, and I want to know where they're shooting. It's 2 houses down from me, and there's a house behind them and next door to them, so where exactly are they shooting?
I don't know. Is that lot an acre? Weren't we
Yes.
told it needed to be an acre?
There
And
are-
they have to shoot into a berm.
Yeah, there's no berm in there. And it's, it's residential. I mean,
I get it.
Yeah, that's zoned residential, isn't it?
It's all zoned R1, but I don't think there's a law against discharging farm in R1 if it's been done in a berm and they have an acre of land. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what we were told by the
I
sheriff's
thought it was
office.
ag. If it was zoned ag, you could shoot on your property. I don't know about residential. I would think not.
I'm pretty sure you can.
I think you can.
as long as it's in a
Yeah,
berm.
the state pretty much well, not pretty much, they did preempt our ability to completely regulate guns and firearms. There's nothing we can do about adopting a regulation. And when they did that, I remember seeing videos of someone in the Florida Keys in a trailer park setting up a shooting range right next to their house between two mobile homes, because there's not a lot of space. And there was nothing they could do about that. There was a person in DeLand or DeBerry who was killed Christmas Day a few years ago because the neighbor was shooting on their residential property, and it went cross property line, went up, or whatever it did.
I think it went just straight across the line. I remember that.
Wow.
So there's a lot of changes in the law. One, all of our laws are invalid. There's nothing, we can't adopt anything related to it. There's been a lot of changes in the laws that are pro-guns. We all know that. So, and even if the city wanted to pursue something as a nuisance activity, these people would have to testify. Because you can't go up and say, they told me. That's hearsay. That's not admissible. So, and ultimately, if these individuals don't want to pursue to have their rights protected, there's not a lot that can be done for them. They got to make that decision first. Now, I would think in every lease, there should be provisions about that would allow the landlord to give notice of cancellation of the lease. And that's where his authority is. He may not be able to come in and say, I want to unilaterally modify the lease so you have less time or you will not make noise late at night. But what he could say is, I'm giving you notice of cancellation. And he can go out there and listen to it himself. And he can say, based on what I've heard, I'm canceling this lease. I'm giving you so many days to correct it or it's being terminated. And that's the authority he has. And that's probably the person who can remedy the situation.
My argument has been that when they are shooting, especially automatic weaponry, from 7 o'clock at night till 7 o'clock in the morning, thousands of rounds, I believe it's statute 740-151, but I can't swear to it, which talks about impairment, being impaired. And it's to be treated the same like a DUI system.
You're not supposed to be doing...
You're not supposed to handle a weapon impaired. And they're not out there at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning saying the rosary. That's not what's going on.
No.
And fully automatic weapons are still pretty heavily regulated, to my knowledge. Not semi-automatic, but fully
No,
automatic.
there's a few fully automatic guns. And
The problem when you
can tell the difference.
Oh, yeah, you can.
I'm pretty familiar with how some of those weapons operate. They have something now called a force reset trigger. And if you know how to work one of them, it's almost as fast as a fully automatic weapon because it discharges when you squeeze it, and it discharges when you let it go.
Right.
And they're 100% legal according to ATF. They're called a force reset trigger. They're not a pull it and hold it. You got to move it back and forth to make it work. But nonetheless, there's also laws on the books about the careless and reckless or negligent discharge of a firearm. So possibly that could come into play, but I think that's a misdemeanor as well. And it would have to be witnessed by law enforcement before they could really do anything about it. I mean, in my opinion, if they're shooting straight up in the air or at an angle,
Them bullets has got
that would be reckless and negligent discharge of a firearm because the bullet's going to come down somewhere. But my only suggestion is, and I was told the way that I talked to, call 911, and you got to be willing to sign a complaint. And, but if you call 911 all the time and they come out and you're not willing to sign a complaint, then it's,
Misuse.
it's not going to accomplish anything.
Right.
Some of them automatics that goes off isn't no little gun.
No, they're most of them are AK-47s.
Homemade
I mean, that's what they're shooting. That's the cheapest ammo they can buy. The only other thing I had was I would like for us to consider scheduling a workshop on the Lions Club Rodeo to talk about any changes we need to make in that before the next rodeo. And I think we need to do that as soon as we can. And I'm open for any suggestions on a date. But we definitely need to do that.
Ryan, you'd rather do it sooner than later because you're fixing to get busy with.
You're going to have to get with Philip if you want them to be here and check what his schedule is like.
Well, you know what? I think we need to set the date, and then if one of them can be here, they'll be here. If they can't be here, then we'll just, we got to set a date when we can all meet.
Wednesdays or Thursdays are better for me.
Okay?
Thursdays are better for me.
Okay.
Thursday's fine with me.
After 3 for me.
Okay?
Thursday
Or
at
at
3 it
three.
is.
You want to do it on the 22nd? The 21st or the,
28th.
I can probably do it on the 28th. I have to be at the Historical Society in DeLand on the 28th, but I should be free by 4:30.
Thursday, we can do it Thursday if you want to. This Thursday.
Do it at the 21st?
21st, day after tomorrow. You good with that?
Do we have anything on the 21st? I don't think I have. I think I'm good with that.
All right, let's do it 3 o'clock Thursday.
Okay, on the 21st, Thursday, at 3 o'clock.
Assume y'all don't need me there.
No.
Okay.
No. If it's anything that detailed, then we'll just table it and hold on to you.
You can call me.
Yeah, I'll call you. What time did we say, Bobby? 4?
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock, okay. All right, so we'll plan on having that workshop on the Lions Club Rodeo on Thursday, May the 21st at 3 p.m.
Okay.
That's all I have. Vice Mayor Greenland, what do you have? Do you have anything?
I do.
Okay.
Well, the first thing I was wanting to us talk about is the airport, so I'm glad that discussion we've already had, and I'm pleased that that is moving forward. All that can do is help our town.
Gonna help us and everybody in this part of the area.
Exactly. Another thing I have, I just noticed this today. Did something happen on Shaw Lake Road yesterday, right there where all the chickens are? Looks like the road is dead, and it looks like it's even marked. Got blue marks on it. Anybody know what the heck that's all about?
Is the road itself damaged?
The road looks to me like there is getting a dip in it, right?
Getting a depression?
Yep.
No, I haven't been out. I didn't notice it.
Where is this at, Bobby?
You know where all the chickens are?
No.
Well, that's another thing. That house has at least 60 chickens that roam
Near who,
all
where's
day
something
long.
else there?
Where?
Back and forth across the road. I mean, it's...
Where is this near?
Where's that out on
It's an
Shaw Lake?
accident fixing to happen, I can tell you.
Where's that out on Shaw Lake?
It is just south of the Pittman place. You know where the Pittman place is?
The old Joe Pittman house?
Yep. Yep.
So it's between there and the log cabin?
The road that goes to Dixie
Yep,
Turner's house?
just past that?
Just past that.
Okay.
Yep, right there.
Does it look like the road might be sinking or
It
something?
does. It does. And it looks to me like somebody has marked it.
Huh.
There's blue
paint on the
blue
road?
paint on the road. And it looks like there's been an oil spill right there or something.
Is that county or is it us?
Yeah, that's what I was fixing to say. Is that
County or
unincorporated?
city?
I don't know. I would think it was city. Might not be. I don't know.
I don't know either, because some parts of that road's in the
Right.
city and some of it's in the county.
But just
I'll ride out
somebody needs to look at that and determine what's going on there.
Well, I'll ride out there, but I don't know if I can determine what's going on there.
Right. Yeah. I didn't notice this till today.
Okay.
And also, last meeting, I brought up about the trees on East Washington.
Yes.
Were those ever determined that they were in the...
I have two quotes.
You got some quotes? Oh, okay. Well, I'll wait then. I'll let you handle that. Other than that, that's it, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. And Councilmember Jimmy Anderson?
The only thing that I've got on my mind is that property out there that's actually in the county. County's on one side, city's on the other side, where they was gonna build that. I was just wondering if anybody's heard anything.
Are you talking about on Harper Road?
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything out of anybody regarding any plans or anything. I heard that the county was not going to issue a permit at one time, and that's the last I heard.
I know last week, or week before last, they was 5 different people out there rambling around out there. And I just figured that, and a couple of them was the Fish and Game.
Maybe they might have been looking for gopher tours.
They ain't there. They done moved them.
But I bet you that's what they were looking
Yeah.
for, any
Or their
activity or
holes.
anything. That would be my guess.
I mean, I just...
Did that mailbox, isn't that a brand new mailbox there, that 145 or something like that?
Yep, that's where that house is gonna be built.
That's, okay, that's...
That's the other property. That's the property before.
Oh, that's a different
That's
piece
the
of property,
property,
okay, all right,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. And from what I understand, he's not building that house there until they find out for sure something ain't going beside of it.
Okay. But I'm sure, I'd be willing to say that if FWC was there, they were probably looking for signs of gopher tortoise activity.
Well, there was plenty of them out there.
They may be, if they find it,
At that meeting that was over here, they stated in that meeting, people were stating that they had seen them put in 5-gallon buckets in the hole, and the turtle goes in it, and they moved all the turtles, that there was no more turtles there. They had moved them all.
well, I would be willing to say that if I was still working and investigating that, and I found signs that they were gophers there in the past, I'd be wanting to know what happened to them.
Yeah.
No, they definitely go for there in the past.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen.
you'd have to do an awful lot of,
Every time you ride by there.
you'd have to do a lot of land work to disguise where a gopher tortoise
Yeah.
burrow used to be, because there's a
Right.
mound there and all that
Yeah.
sort of stuff.
Well, I know there was several people out there rambling around, that's why I was just wondering.
They pee on you. I found that out today.
Anything else?
No, I think that'll do it.
Lenny?
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yvonne, when you reached out to the state about the dead trees on what did they say?
Which dead trees are you talking about? The ones right here on 17 that you asked me about? They said they came out and cut them. I thought that was resolved already.
They're still there. All the trees are still there.
That was a while ago. Yeah, I don't.
They said what?
I'd have to show you the email, but they sent an email that was like a ticket thing that said that the issue was completed. That was a while ago, but I don't know.
I'll come in and we'll reach back out, because no.
Yeah, it's,
Also, the traffic at the high school, like Lester said, it's an ongoing issue. I'd like to, after school's out, see if we can't get a meeting with somebody and have them come up with a plan to resolve this situation. Mike Burnson could not get out of his driveway.
oh yeah, I noticed that today. They parked right in his, blocked his driveway.
And said they wouldn't move. He said, this is, and on the sidewalks. Well, who's gonna have to fix it? We are,
Exactly.
the taxpayers. So I'd like to maybe, before school starts again.
Next year.
Yeah, it's, pretty soon. People are not signing for the registered letters that were sent about the RVs, right? There's still some that haven't signed. How do we handle that, Scott?
Well, you all were just giving them notice, right?
We sent them registered.
You sent them registered just to prove they had notice, but there was no legal requirement to send them registered. There's no legal requirement to send certified mail notice. You were just doing that so you had proof that they got it. You could send a regular mail. You could post it on their property.
Okay.
Either way.
Okay. That's it. Thank you.
Ms. Peterson?
I have a couple. The Hispanic lady reached out to me about North Road Pond again. They're still putting paint in it. They're still washing dishes in it. They're still throwing their yucky food in it. And what can we do about it? And I thought we had addressed this before, and with the, I guess, health department have to come out to do something about that. I'm not
I
sure.
would say it might be a health
If
department
they're
issue.
throwing paint in it, can't you contact DEP?
EPA or whatever.
The pond in the little subdivision.
Yeah.
Yeah, Finico Lake Estates Pond. That's wow. They dug out years ago.
So the one people, they wash their dishes out there, and they probably don't have running water inside. But that some of them put paint in it. Her dad tried. It's the same guy that was here before. It's the same family. They just want to be able to put some fish in there and have a nice little pond in their backyard. Not it's getting contaminated by stuff that shouldn't be put in there.
When we had that property on North Road, that they did all that land clearing that they weren't supposed to do, that got reported to DEP, and that was above our heads, and they came in there and swooped in and did some investigation and finding, so maybe someone needs to call and report it and say, hey, there's noxious chemicals being dumped in this pond. It's contaminating groundwater, potentially a natural body of water. They might get more results that way.
Well, I'm the person that did that, so as town council, am I to call the EPA
I
and
guess
do it
anybody
again?
that has firsthand knowledge of it. They brought us proof. They brought us photos.
Yeah.
I guess anyone can report it to DEP.
Yeah. I have, there's an incident happening off of Shaw Lake Road and Hagstrom Road on some wetlands there. And I haven't reached back out to Mike Register yet, but I do have a direct line I can call him on. When I called St. John's myself on that, I was told that wasn't their problem because it was R1 zoning and I needed to call DEP. Well, call DEP. Let me know when you get a hold of somebody. Because everything I got was AI animated answering
I do have the ladies.
services, and he gave me also a number for DEP, and I'll probably try that later in the week.
And I'll give you the one that I have, if that helps you.
Okay. Yeah, you can give it to me after the meeting.
Yeah, I don't even know if I have it in my phone, but I have it.
Yeah, if you have it, give it to me, and I'll call them. There's people that have obviously have witnessed this guy like burying freezers, and all that's happening where the water flows under Hakeson Road out of Botch Lake and then flows into Shaw Lake, and it's happening right in that flow area where that water passes through there. But it's difficult to get anybody to do anything. Yes, sir.
Lester Pulley, 363 North Pine Street. Didn't DEP law enforcement go under FWC, or was that just the state parks?
State parks.
That's just the parks.
Yeah, at one time years ago, FWC or GFC, when I was working, we did the law enforcement leg of environmental protection enforcement, but they have their own entity now, so to speak. I was directly involved with that, but it's no longer under FWC, it's under the environmental protection, DEP. Anybody else have anything?
I have
Yes,
another.
okay.
Also, the vendor market, this was the last one for the summer or whatever, and they're not doing too well, so I think we, as a town council, need to talk about that again, if you want to do that at the workshop with the Lions Club.
We can put that in there.
Put that on there too.
At a
Just
workshop,
what we
we
need
can
to
pretty
do.
much
I don't
talk
think
about what
Kim
we
wants to manhandle it anymore coming after the summer, so
Right.
is it something we even want to do, I guess?
Continue. We can talk about that.
Yeah.
Well,
We'll just
I'd
run
be
that up.
better to talk about that at the workshop.
Yep, that's fine too.
Anything else?
That's all I had, thank you.
Is there anybody in the audience that has anything that they would like to ask as a council or bring up?
I will.
Okay.
Melissa Thorne from unincorporated D-Land, I'm your neighbor. Just came from the county council meeting. That's why I was late. So just giving you their final report from the Charter Review Commission. So as you know, there are 15 body commission that are selected from our county council members. They sit on this board and don't make any charter review amendments for 10 years. So it's every 10 years they actually sit, come together, and decide what they're going to do about the charter. They're going to listen to what the people have to say and do charter amendments if the people want, or if they're going to do their own thing. Well, of course, they did their own thing. So there's going to be 5 of them on our ballot. The first one and the last one are the ones that I'm going to talk to y'all about because they're the most, I think, prudent. The others are just sort of like housekeeping tools, like they're just cleaning up. It was said this way over here in the charter, and it said this way here in the Florida statutes, so we're just going to clean it up so everything matches, kind of like what y'all are doing with the airport. So, Amendment 1, they want to make it so the county chair is appointed by the council, no longer actually has to run for election and serve a 4-year term. It will only be a 1-year term as chair, and the chair will be appointed by the members of the county.
The chair would have to be an existing member of the council, correct?
Yes, so the chair will be an at-large member, so they will run for an at-large, so there will be 2 at-large seats. So they will cover the whole county, those 2 seats. And then the county council will choose who they want to be chair, and the chair will only serve a 1-year term.
As chair.
As chair. I think that's stupid. I think it takes a lot longer for someone to get in a chair seat and figure out what's what and who's who and what they need to do. And I think it should be the people's choice who's going to be the chair and not the 7 people that are sitting up there on the dais. Okay, so that's that one. And then the last one that I'll just discuss real quick is amendment number 5. And it's listed as Conservation Lands Registry. And I'll just read this quick for y'all. A registry is created to consist of conservation lands owned by the County of Volusia. The registry will be known as the Volusia County Registry of Conservation Lands, and any properties listed thereon will not be subject to sale, divestiture, or transfer by the county. Properties may be added to or removed from the registry by resolution approved by a majority plus 1 vote of the entire county council. So basically what they want to do is, you guys know what Volusia Forever is, right? All right, so they want the properties that are listed on Volusia Forever as conservation properties to be listed under this Conservation Lands Registry. So they're going to put it up on a website. It's going to all be listed and transparent and all of that. What they want to do is give the council an option to sell the land, use the land any way they want to, build a hospital on it, drill for oil on it, put up a tower on it, do all kinds of stuff. When we, the people, have voted several times for forever to be forever. So, I don't know where they're going with these charter people, but honestly, and I don't want to throw anybody under the bus here, but Don Dempsey is the one that actually brought this up last month. He has a problem with the word forever. He wants it to be so that lands can be utilized, because we don't know what's going to happen 30 years, 50 years, 100 years down the road. He's saying that the lands should not be in perpetuity forever, not being able to be touched. He says you should be able to access that land and do whatever you want with it. So I think, honestly, they did this to placate him. That's just my personal opinion.
Okay. Anybody else have anything?
Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you very much for enlightening us on that. One more time? Nope. Nobody? Being no further? I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. Yvonne.
Scott and Mark first.
Nothing.
I'll be here this Thursday, and meet people and talk to them about the land use and zoning issues, 9 o'clock to 11:30.
This Thursday?
This Thursday.
You got anything?
Well, Bobby brought up the quotes. I could tell you the 2 quotes. I only received one yesterday. So, M&B Tree Service came in at $2,500 because Gray added a tree that was on Frederick that is dead and it's hanging over the road. And Travis Campbell, it came in at $2,200. That's what I have right now. No other
I thought that paper said 1,500 for.
He gave me another quote for the tree on Frederick, and it was $1,000.
Okay.
And that's to take care of the trees on Washington.
And the one in Frederick that you said needed to get taken down.
Public Works has taken down the other two on Frederick, but the big one, we wanted someone to do that.
You're right.
Because it hangs over the road.
I'm assuming Travis is licensed and bonded and insured.
Says he is, yes.
He says-
I'm supposed to get all
We're
that
trying to
tomorrow.
get the paperwork.
All right. Yeah.
He does a lot of work for the county. Travis does.
We were talking about that today. I think we're waiting to get his insurance and stuff, the license and
Did you
insurance.
say it's 22? 22?
And M&E, or
It's
M&B was 2,500.
25? Well, you save $300.
And they both include stump grinding and everything?
Both of them include the stump grinding? I think we ought to go with 2,200. I mean, it's the
Yeah.
cheapest quote. It's the exact same work.
They're both local.
They're both local. They're
It's
both
not an
local
agenda
They
contractors.
both give to the community.
Are we allowed to vote on it if it's not an agenda item, or does it matter?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
I make a motion to go to Travis Gamble in the amount of $2,200 for tree removal, 2 on East Washington and 1 on Frederick.
Motion on the floor by Vice Mayor Robert F. Freeman to use Travis Gamble to remove the trees on Washington and the one on Frederick, and I believe this also includes the stump grinding. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Jimmy Anderson. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
So carried. Okay. Ryan, you got anything else?
All I've got is Brandy had called me last week and asked about mowing 17. Once again, it was overgrown in the ditches. People couldn't see turning out of the driveways of some of the businesses.
M&E was one
primarily.
Yes.
We called the company, used to be Versar, it's called Oasis now. They're the contractor for DOT. Found out they handle from State Road 40 all the way to the Putnam County line. Filled out a work order with them. They mowed yesterday, and they were back here again today, so supposedly it's being taken care of.
Yep.
I guess what we're just going to have to do is quarterly or something, just call them and do a work order, because they don't seem to come out unless we ask.
Yep.
But it is being taken care of,
Thank
so.
you.
It was overdue for sure.
But if anyone sees, I see they
Eddie
left.
said when I was up there, he told me the other day he almost seen a car get smacked.
They
coming out
left
of
some of the real big stuff that was in the ditches, so we need to maybe keep an eye on that, and if we're not happy with that, write them back, because I told them it's not just a visibility thing, but also if we get heavy rain this summer, it impedes drainage.
Yeah, that thing needs to be mowed from the banks to the bottom.
And it probably wouldn't hurt for them to one day clean the bottom of the ditches out, because they just mow it and they leave all that vegetation in there.
So you want me to ride by there and look and come put another work order in?
I'm just saying, if it doesn't look adequate to you, let me know so we can take pictures and send them to them.
Absolutely.
Before they close the ticket out.
Yeah, thank you.
Sue.
On the corner of Washington and you turn on Pine Street, the trees are overlooking Pine Street. It's a narrow street to begin with. There's a lot of shrubbery. It's really, it's on the right of way, I believe. You can cut some of it back, hanging down on the road.
Is it like between Pine and Myrtle, or, Washington and Myrtle, or where?
Yeah, the first strip, as you turn off, if you're going on Washington, turn on north of Pine, right along there, Palmettos,
It's going to be north of the cemetery, correct?
on the east side of the road.
But north of the cemetery?
There's magnolias, and there's some big live oaks there on the. There's some big live oaks. Now, once you get down there closer to Rusty's Packing Shed, between the cemetery and Rusty's Packing Shed, it gets a little tight there, Sue, but
Well, that is a cemetery, so.
We'd have to look at it.
we'll look at it.
Yes. That piece behind the cemetery is the cemetery, I'm pretty sure.
I'll look at that when I look at Charlotte.
Yeah.
They're both pretty close.
That comes out that cemetery.
Ryan, that's not where the garbage truck broke down yesterday, was it? Do you know where that happened at?
Wasn't it Van O?
Thought that was that right by Chris McCarty's place. He got
Oh,
stuck.
okay. Oh, he got stuck?
Sand.
Oh, if he
Said
pulled
he
off
was-
there where that fire started?
They
Yeah.
said that he was buried to the hubs.
I pulled there to turn around last weekend, and I damn near got stuck myself.
Yeah, that's soft.
And
Might go
Muddy.
back in
soft
there.
muddy and
Back
sandy,
in there, I don't know, if it's
Sand.
Side by sides or what's.
Yeah, where it's kind of cleared out right there.
All barren sand.
Yeah.
You should go by.
Anybody else?
You should ride that way and go by.
Move to adjourn.